I do want to show a couple of the different types of things that you could do before I wrap up. One of them, so what I found too with Jeremy and I, one thing I found was that I at first was not getting my meeting to show up here within my calendar. So one alternative that you could do if you have some issues with that is you could actually grab the link for the meeting, so the Zoom URL or the Teams URL, and what you would do is just paste it right in here. So this is actually our meeting link, and you could paste this in here. Super long. You could paste this in here, and then it recognizes it, and then it's able to start recording it. So it's pretty nice in that regard. We already kind of covered the record part, but the other thing I want to show is if you do choose the import option, this is where you can browse for those video files or audio files. And this is actually what I did to try to pull in the Bloom one. I don't know if I have any on this computer here. Could maybe check. Let's see. I might have one in here maybe. Yeah, so this would be an example. You could choose a video here, and then what it's going to do is it's going to transcribe it. So think of it as it's like watching the video and listening to the audio, and then it's transcribing it for you, and then you can look at it afterwards. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm just going to go over to the one that I had already done, and this is the Bloom one that I did. This was a video recording, and what I did was once it was done, I actually went in and I added some things. So I didn't do any of this. So all this that you see was done by Otter. So first you have, a little bit of the transcript, this is the summary of what we talked about. So the transcript here on this tab is actually the word for word conversation that happened between Zach and I from Bloom, our Bloom rep. And so it's got, speaker 1, that's me. Speaker 2 is Zach. And then we just kind of go through, and talk about what we're doing for the conference. Now, a couple of things that you can do within the transcript itself, some tools that are available to you. Like here you see, okay, you can listen back to it, but you can also highlight things. Like this one, I would unhighlight. So maybe what I would do is if I just say, if I look at, let's unhighlight this, and then we'll go ahead and highlight that again. Make sure I get the right thing here. Sometimes my Microsoft stuff gets in the way. See if that'll go away real quick. Okay, I can highlight it, and then that's highlighted. So if there's key points and things, you can go in and you can select stuff. You don't have to just be satisfied with what you've got. You can add comments, emojis, you can like it, you can add images, copy it, share it. So there's a lot of things you can do there with that menu. Like this one was an example of, I just clicked this space, and then this is where I added that image of myself just to go along with that speaker 1 part. And then if, let's say you have a longer meeting and you want to look at the key points that you highlighted as you went through the transcript, what you can do is just click show only highlights, and that will kind of break it down for you and remove things that maybe are not so important, right? So gives you some options there. You can export those if you want into a text doc. Some of the things that are taken away, like you won't have Microsoft Docs or PDF if you aren't paying for it, but you can still get the text version of it. And then just going back to the summary, this is where we have what Otter came up with after listening to the video. And this is the breakdown. So a little summary there. It created some action items, which I can create my own if I want, but it created some based on the conversation. And then you'll have an outline of the entire thing. So Bloom's excitement for IT Squared 2024, campus-wide communication systems, latest classroom interactivity technologies, and invitation to attend IT Squared 2024. So really cool. I mean, I didn't do any of that work. That was all done by Otter. But the last thing I want to show is if you have an action item, and this is something that, Jeremy and I are working on together, let's say, I can go over here and I could actually assign this to him as an action item, and he'll get a notification saying that that's something that he should address. And then that's where the whole thing comes into play with, like the workspace and assigning things to people and then having conversations within the workspace about what we're working on, right?